Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about e.l.f. products. I am doing a full face of e.l.f. makeup, also using e.l.f. tools to create this makeup look. So if you guys are interested in seeing what e.l.f. products I used, what e.l.f. tools I used, and how I created this beautiful summer makeup look, then just keep watching. Alright, let's get into doing a full face of e.l.f. makeup. I'm really excited. I have high hopes that this is going to be an awesome makeup look for the cost, like for how affordable e.l.f. is. They have some really good products that are just comparable to a lot of makeup out there. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the foundation first. So I picked this up while I was grocery shopping yesterday. I haven't tried an e.l.f. foundation before, so doing full face e.l.f. I needed a foundation and I just was curious about it. I did do a swatch on my face yesterday. So here is like the 411. I swatched this, and for what it looked like in person, this looked like the closest shade match to my skin that I've found in a foundation. And so yeah, so this is the shade Vanilla in 240, and it's neutral yellow undertone. So one of my subscribers a while back, when I was doing a hair video, told me that he saw yellow undertones in my skin, which I never ever thought of before. So James, yes, you are right. Even though I still do like cool hair tone, if that clashes with my yellow undertones in my skin, that's fine. But I swatched it on my cheek and it just disappeared right in. The only reservation that I have for this is that it kind of has a scent. It kind of has a strong scent, and I googled it. I googled e.l.f. foundation and people said it has like a strong baby powder scent. So I don't know, if you are not into scents, like this might not be a good time. So this is Flawless Satin Foundation. Guessing it has a satin finish, and I'm going to go in with this brush. I haven't tried it yet before. I saw stuff from SMLxo. I think it might have been in one of her favorites, kind of using it as a comparable brush to the It Cosmetics brush. So yeah, just has a little smell. I don't smell it right now. There, I got a whiff of it. All right, let's see if the magic happens again. If it was just like my eye. Oh, forgot to use the primer. Okay, I gotta wash this off and use the primer. All right, let's try that again. Yes, I'm blaming it on Mercury in retrograde. I feel like this retrograde has been just a little bit, yeah, a little something else. All right, so I have the Luminous Putty Primer. I want to try the pink one, the one that is like the star of the putty primers. Like there's the mattifying one, and then this is the luminous one, and I kind of just want to try the original to see how that one would work. So this kind of has a little bit of like dewiness to it, like it gives your skin that glass-like look, like there's little iridescence to it. So we'll get that on the skin and then try again with the foundation. Okay, let's try it again. Let's start this over and try again. When I was washing it off my hand, it seemed really water resistant, so hopefully it will hold up to the summer heat, because it has been warm these past couple days. We have been enjoying our pool and the outdoors, and watching TV outside. Oh, I feel so bad. Last time I filmed, I was like, I think it was it the opening day? I think it was the opening day of the Euro Cup. And I was just talking about how I was so excited to watch. And when I had it on after watching Finland play Denmark, oh my goodness. If you watch soccer, you know what happened. But if you don't, one of the Danish players, their star players, Christian Eriksen, collapsed and had a heart attack on the field. And thank God they were able to revive him, and he's fine. He's in the hospital. He's doing all right. But it was a really tragic incident to happen in such a big stage, like world event. Not just Europe's watching, but all of the world is watching. So it was pretty awful. So this says it has a medium finish. I'm seeing kind of like a light finish right now, like a lighter finish. And on camera, it's looking lighter to you. But in person, it like just sinks into my skin and just looks so much. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. Like this is the closest I feel like I've gotten in shade match to my skin tone. So thank you, James. I am definitely going to look for neutral foundations with yellow undertones. Like it definitely, yeah, it looks lighter on camera, but it's not. In person, it like just melts right in. So, nay nay, like Bailey Sarian would say, this is not, for me, this doesn't really look like a medium. Like it looks on the light side of foundation. But, oh my gosh, I love how it just blends. You see my bug bite got eaten alive. We went to play golf on the weekend and got eaten alive by the bugs, and now they're sore. They're not just itchy, like my neck is sore where I got bit. But this, like, oh, I wish you could see in real life that it just blends, it just matches my skin tone so nicely. So I'm gonna go in with a favorite, the Camo Concealer by e.l.f. I have this in the shade Light Ivory, so this is a tad bit light for my under eye, but we're gonna use it. It's such a great concealer, gets rave reviews. This is the hydrating version, and yeah, love it. And I'm gonna go in, maybe I'll go in first with the brush side of this just to test it out. I think this would also be super good for nose contouring. You could probably use it as an eyeshadow brush. Just gonna blend this out, and then I'm gonna use my Camo Concealer Sponge. This I love. So yeah, it's definitely the tools from e.l.f. that I think are my staples in like everyday use for makeup. Like they're so affordable, and the quality, like you can't beat when something's affordable but also awesome quality. Let's go into brows. So for my brows today, I'm going to use both e.l.f. products. I have the Wow Brow, which I love. I was using this all the time. It's probably drying up, I hope not. Really, really like this. And also the Instant Lift Brow Pencil. This is really inexpensive and actually works really well. So I'm just gonna kind of do one brow, I think, and the other one off camera. And I'm gonna go in with the Wow Brow first to just kind of fluff up my brows, add a little bit of color to them. There's a little bit of a tint, and there's a little bit of fibers in it as well to kind of fill out your brow a bit. I'm just going to fluff it up like that. Take my pencil. Let's see. I can hold it up higher. Just kind of fill in the gaps. I'm just going to go for kind of a natural look today with my brows. I probably would use this in conjunction with something else, but because I just want to do an e.l.f. look, I am just going to use this. Because this is not going to give me the hair-like strokes that I want at the front. Alright, not too shabby for my brows. They look nice and fluffy and natural. I think the first product that I ever did use from e.l.f. was actually their little duo of the brow, I think it's the brow powder and the brow pomade, I guess you could call it, before I tried the Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then I think it was their bronzer and blush duo, which was kind of a dupe for the NARS. So I'm going to go in with my contour palette, and let's see which e.l.f. brush shall I use. Just this powder brush. I'm going to go in with the lighter shade first, just to kind of bronze up my cheeks, and then I'll go in with the sculpting shade after to add a little bit more definition. So we are on the home stretch. There is a week left of school. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the kids to be done and not on their computers all day long, especially as the weather is nice outside. It's hard to just miss a whole day of just beautiful sunshine when they have to sit behind the computer the whole day. But we're almost there. We are almost there. It'll be nice to sleep in. All right, now I'm going to go in with the darker sculpting shade to just add in a little bit more contour. And I will have to blend this. I'll have to blend this out. I think what I'll do is I'll take the brush that I used for my foundation just to kind of blend it through, because I'm going to try to just use not only e.l.f. products but the e.l.f. tools, and I don't have any e.l.f. I just ran out of my e.l.f. eyeliner. That was what I've been using forever. I went to go sharpen it and there was like no product left in it, so I don't have any e.l.f. eyeliner or mascara, but other than that, everything else, including the tools, are e.l.f. So just going through again with the brush that I use for my foundation, just blended everything really nicely together. I think this is a really good kind of tip to do, is just use the brush that you've had foundation on after, and just you can blend all your concealer, like all of your products, through afterwards. Now I'm going to go into the powder on the palette, the lightest shade. It's got a little bit of luminosity and iridescence to it. It's probably more like a highlighting color, but I'm just going to use that to set my under eye a little bit. I find during, like, I don't usually set my under eye, but now that it's getting warmer out, it needs a little bit of powder under there, because if I start working in the garden again, like, it'll just be melting off my face. So I'm loving the complexion part so far. I think it looks beautiful. Everything blended so nicely, and I just love it. Now I'm gonna go in with, I've seen so many people rave about the little bite-size e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes. I'm pretty sure My YouTube friend Heather Austin had this in her e.l.f. video, a couple of these products. I definitely was inspired by that, so I'll link Heather's e.l.f. video. So I'm going to try out this little neutral palette with the e.l.f. brushes that I have. Do I have another one? I'm going to just check to see if I have one more eyeshadow brush. All right, I didn't. So I'm going to use these e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brushes. I've just always used these for different powders. Yeah, any kind of powder that I'm using on my face. So I'm going to go in with the lightest neutral shade, and I'm just going to put that up on my brow bone here. And blend that through. Oh, that has some nice pigment. It is not patchy. It's a really nice, just neutral transition color. I just like to kind of contour out that strong predominant brow bone. Sometimes, like, there's all different kinds of deep set eyes. Sometimes people have deep set eyes that like work, like they have a smaller brow bone, so their eyelid, like this part of their eye, is deep set, but because it's larger, it gives you just more room to play. You don't lose as much in the crease, and it's just this brow bone for me that bothers me more than anything, that it's just coming forward so much. So sometimes there's deep set eyes and they have a smaller brow bone, so it works. Because actually when people are creating eyeshadow looks, especially if you have a flatter lid, you're putting in that crease color to make it look like you have a stronger crease. So there's nothing wrong with deep set eyes. Mine are just really uneven and just such a strong predominant brow bone that I don't enjoy so much. So this, just contouring this back, kind of makes my lids pop more, makes my eyes look a little bit brighter. I'm going to take my little smudge brush from e.l.f. Eyeshadow brush, just a little flat buddy. I love these brushes for going under my eye, smudging out eyeliner. But so far, I'm actually really loving this shadow. I totally think this would work as an all-over lid color and just one and done. It's super pretty. Now I'm going to go in with this blender brush from e.l.f. It's a blending brush. It is a little bit denser, so I'm going to play with the darker brown. I like to use a more dense brush, smaller brush when I'm playing with darker colors, just so it's not, I can be more precise with it and the shade is not just buffing out everywhere, especially with my crease and deep set eyes. I just want to have more control of my placement. So I'm just going to stick to the outer corner with this dark brown color. And I gotta really pack it in. But the shade and the eyeshadow formula is very smooth. And then I have just a really nice, this is actually a beautiful brush, blending a fluffy eye brush from e.l.f. that works perfectly for just blending out eyeshadow. It's a beautiful brush. See? Perfect. So funny, as I'm blending my eyeshadow out, I never really noticed this, probably because it's happening in the more recent months maybe, but this eyelid, like the skin on this eyelid is so much looser than this side, probably because this eye is bigger. But as I was placing the shadow, I'm like, oh, the skin is getting so crepey on my eyelid, but not this side. Like, how funny is that? So I picked up this little brush. I wanted to get an even smaller brush for eyeshadow placement because sometimes there's just little, whoops, I dropped it, cracks and crevices that you want to get in, but you can't. And especially if there's like certain styles you want to apply with your finger, but you actually don't want to apply with your finger. So I picked up this tiny little brush. It says concealer brush, but I think it's going to work perfect for eyeshadow. So I'm just going to kind of go in and do like a little faux cut crease dealio with this brush. And I'm just going in with the camo concealer. Alright, so this brush was perfect for just cleaning up and smoothing out the edges, and actually really good for my loose eye skin that's just becoming looser and looser. It's actually really nice for just being precise, because sometimes as the skin on your eye is getting looser, things can look a lot messier, and this is actually creating a nice clean line, but you can definitely see the difference in both of my eyes. So I think I'm going to try, we'll see how this works, this shimmery color right here with this tiny little brush, and we'll see how it applies. Probably take me an eternity to apply it. If I had more of a medium-sized flat brush, that would have worked out better, but I want to stick to these brushes, and this is actually a really pretty cooler neutral iridescent color, so I think this is working really beautifully with these warmer tones, and it's not too dark that it's it looks like it could have ended up a little bit darker on my eye in the pan, but it's staying nice and bright, which I'm loving. I'm very impressed with this little palette, really impressed. I definitely could see myself using this as an everyday palette. The colors and the formula are so good. I'm going to keep on with this little guy. I want to go get another one so I can have one for eyeliner, not eyeliner, but darker eyeshadows, for concealer. This little guy, he's awesome. I'm so happy I bought it. So I'm going to go in with the darker brown and use him again underneath, and I can get right up in my lash line. So I have this nice effect of a darker to lighter shadow. You can create a nice little wing with it if you want. I'm going to use this again when I use the black, because I'm going to go on top of my top lash line and use the black shimmery color as my eyeshadow. This little guy, this is a game changer. I think as your eyes are maturing and they're just pulling this way and that way, having this just to keep precision is so nice. So I'm just pushing that dark black shade into my lash line because I'm not going to tightline and I don't have an eyeliner. Okay, I'm only going to rave about this brush one last time. I think it's the artist in me. I don't paint anymore, but I loved to paint, and I love doing portraits, and what I got Like when you're doing finishing on art, you always go for the tiniest little brushes. Like it's just precision work, adding those little details that really bring your creation to life. So I think that's what I really appreciate about having this tiny brush. So this little brush, like you can even do a little cute little flick on the inside, and because it's this shape, it just holds, like it's more dense than an angled brush, which might kind of, you know, bend here and there, but it created such a nice line for my liner, and I'll stop talking about it now. So I was able to tightline with the brush. I used a little bit of the black eyeshadow and tightline, and it just makes your eyelashes look so much fuller when you do that. All right, let's go into, this will be interesting. Okay, we'll use the powder brush again. So I'm gonna go into blush. So I picked up this little duo of blush and highlighter in the shade Cantaloupe. There was one a little bit more orange, and kind of wish I bought that, but I wanted to kind of see what this lighter shade would look like. So we're gonna give this a whirl. We're gonna give this a try. Does look like the inside of a cantaloupe. All right. Oh, that is pretty. So this isn't a blush that's gonna just pop and be so obvious, but it's just adding like this nice kind of peachy tone to my skin, and it's blending in nicely with the bronzer, so that it's just giving an all over kind of blended through look. I actually kind of am digging this. I kind of dig when makeup just kind of blends in. So it just kind of looks like a natural kind of tone for me. So I have two of these concealer brushes, and this is what I would actually use them a lot for, was highlighter. So I'm going to go in to the other side. I swatched this highlighter, and it's very luminous. It's a very luminous highlighter. So I'm just going to start on this back part and just kind of blend it through the tops of my cheekbone and just kind of push down so it blends through the blush and the bronzer. Since I don't have a lip liner from e.l.f., I'm going to go in with my little square smudge brush, and I'm going to go in with the lighter tone in the contour palette, and I'm just going to use this as a lip liner, little contour for the lips. Actually, I'm going to dip into the darker shade. That works really nicely as a lip liner. It's just blown out, doesn't give you any harsh lines, and just having that little bit of shadow on top and around the lips is giving them a fuller appearance. And you can kind of might just blot it a bit with my sponge. All right, I'm very excited for this lip. Hydrating Core Lip Shine. Heather Austin used this one. I'm pretty sure it was this one. So in Cheery Jovial, I probably didn't say that right, but so it's got a cute little heart in it, and it's really hydrating. So I thought that it would be more iridescent, like it wouldn't be so pigmented, but I tried it on and it was actually very pigmented, which is cool because I've always wanted an orange lip color. I picked up one a long time ago in like Revlon or Maybelline, but didn't see that it was a lip shine, so there was really no pigment to it. So when I tried this on, I was excited about it. It's pretty, like it's pigmented for just being a lip shine. And it's such a pretty color. And I thought it would go really nicely. And this has a nice smell. The foundation, not so nice. And actually, now that I pumped out a pump, I don't know if maybe it was just the scent was bottled up inside because it hadn't been sitting for a while maybe. I don't smell that smell. I don't smell it on my skin. The only thing here is you really kind of got to go around your lips with the edges of this because the heart that's giving you the moisture is also not giving you lipstick. Lived up to the expectations. Yes, it did. It did. All of these products I could see myself using on the daily. I feel like this is such a summer look. I feel like it's late July, summer night, patio, like hanging out. I love the lip shade. It's so pretty. So pretty. So hydrating. The eyeshadow, all of it, everything that I use today, maybe minus the brows. I probably would use my other brow products, but I could totally just work with all of these e.l.f. products and just do full face e.l.f. all summer long. It looks so good. I love it. I love the quality, the tools that I have. Really love these new brushes, especially this one. This perfect little guy. I'm getting more. So good. Highly recommend this. But yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out, trying out e.l.f. products with me today. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you use any of these products. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys again soon.